Today we're talking about Primary Math 1A, Exercise 4, looking at the textbook, pages 14 and 15. This is just more practice counting and more practice thinking about numbers. As we've said before, look at the little girl on the top of page 14. She is counting and looking at the information or the blocks there. Notice that the first 5 blocks are yellow, and then when you add more blocks on top of 5, the color changes. That's because we want to begin thinking about 5 and 1 more being 6, and 5 and 4 more, like in my picture, is 9. And so it's always good just when you're thinking about numbers to realize that you have 5 and 3 more, and that's 8. Conveniently enough, you have 5 fingers on one hand, and so if you have all 5 of one hand and 4 in the other, that makes 9. And so we can think about things in terms of 5 and how many more because we have 5 fingers. It just works out nicely. It's called the base 10 numbers. We have a base 10 number system, and I'll bet we have that because we have 10 fingers. So it's easy for us to think in terms of tens. Look with me at the next page, page 15, number 10, has some interesting way to think about numbers. We have 4, 5, 6, and then there's a blank spot and another blank spot, and then 9 and another blank spot. And what we're trying to do is practice and learn how to count without always starting at 1. So 4, 5, 6, what comes next? 7. What comes after 7 is 8, and then 9, and of course 10 is at the end. And it works out nicely that counts all the numbers. It goes all the way up. But we can do the same thing going backwards. If you start at 9, we can count down to 8, 7, what comes next? 6, 5, 4, and 3 are next. It's just good to count over and over, count up, count down, get used to the order of the numbers so you don't ever forget, and you can do it really, really quickly because you've practiced. So continue counting things as you walk and as you look at how many bicycles are in your garage or how many children are at the playground. All of these things you can count, and you can get used to having numbers and thinking about numbers. When you have blocks like in part C of this one, if you have a blank and an 8 and a 9, then we realize the numbers are going up, and so you could actually start from the right and count backwards. 9 goes to 8, goes to 7. If it starts here, 2, 1, what's before that? Well, there's this really lovely number of 0, which means nothing. At night, when it's dark, there are no children outside at the park. They're all home in bed. And then another part of that little Ferris wheel has a blank in front with 6 and 5. These numbers are going down. So again, you can look at the 5 and think about the other direction, 5, 6, 7. It's the same as if you start here and go 7, 6, 5. It's just good to recognize the patterns of the numbers and to see how that works.